Hey, what's going on, guys? Excuse me. Meteorologist Jonathan Keg is back with you on what is it, Wednesday night, 10 o'clock, hanging out as we talk about the weather across Central Florida or whatever you want to talk about. Post in the comments what you want to talk about this evening. If you have any questions, of course, you can obviously post those in the comments as well. And I will do my best to get to everybody tonight. A nice, quiet night through Central Florida this evening. We need some rain. That has been the theme of the last several weeks. No doubt about that. And it's really going to be the theme going forward. We talked about this a little bit. We were really getting into the mix last night that we thought that we would have more burn bans come into place across Central Florida today. And there you have it. Our map is expanding. We were looking at the Keach Byram Drought Index. That's something that I'm going to show you pretty much every night until we're out of this, because I really think it illustrates the number on how it impacts you, how dry really your backyard is, or the forest near your yard or near your house is going to be. And it shows where things are really getting critical in terms of the drought situation. So we are really going to be involved with that index. I'm just moving stuff around on my computer screen so that I can see exactly who's on, what we're talking about, and all that stuff. So thank you guys again for being here on a Wednesday evening, 10 o'clock. We get together, hang out late night before the 11 o'clock news. And of course, we're going to give a recap on all this stuff at News 6 at 11. So hope to see you guys over on the TV side of things. By the way, our friends at WeatherStem helping to provide us with coverage of all the neighborhoods across Central Florida. So that is a live look in Ponce Inlet above my head. And below my head, we have Haw Creek, I believe, or that is Bushnell. That is Bushnell in Sumter County, where we're taking a live look. Okay, so let's get into it. Burn bans are expanding. Last night when we talked, Volusia just got added. Lake, we had been in a burn ban. Lakeland, Polk County, we were also added yesterday. And now we've had Orange County added to this burn ban. What that means is, or what these numbers mean, this is I think the most accurate thing to look at when looking at how dry we have been. This is the Keach Byram Drought Index. You're going to hear us talk about that a lot. You may hear about it a lot because this is what the counties go by whenever they start to issue these burn bans. And typically, that 500 number is that number that when reached, burn bans go into play. It was for Lake County, Orange County, it triggered as well. So that's what we are up against at this point. The 500 is that critical number. When we start to approach it, it's not good. And certainly when we touch it and exceed it, it gets even worse. So Orange County joined the 500 club today. And again, this is a club we do not want to be in. I suspect Seminole County joins in tomorrow. That 500 number. Volusia, we're well into it. Lake, we're in the 550 number and above. And then Sumter, we're at 543. Keep in mind, the index or the scale, the legend is right at the top there, right underneath where it says latest. And the higher the number, the drier the ground and the brush and things of that nature. This is all that this index looks at. So it's not per se the high fire threat. This goes into forecasting the fire threat for the day. But this is just looking at the dryness, if you will, of the ground and the potential for things to burn. And again, the higher the number, the easier that becomes. So 500 and above, we want to avoid. And you see, we have a lot of Central Florida counties approaching, if not exceeding that number. And again, there's really not going to be any relief in sight. So we haven't taken a look at the actual rainfall numbers yet this week. So I wanted to do that as we get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big day because every Thursday, the United States Department of Agriculture will release the drought monitor. So we're anxious to see if the severe drought is going to expand. Certainly nothing is going to improve. We received no rain this week. So the only thing that can happen is the drought gets worse or stays the same. So those are the only two outcomes for the drought monitor. We'll, of course, have that tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos will likely have that at noon tomorrow. She will have that at noon tomorrow and on News 6 at noon. And that is going to be after it's released at 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock every Thursday that comes out. So I'm anxious to see if anything changed on there. And again, it's only going to change for the worse. It's not going to get better this week. We're pushing 5 inches below normal in Orlando. We're pushing 6 inches below normal in Daytona Beach, more than 5.5 inches below normal in Leesburg. And again, this is where we have the severe drought from Daytona Beach into Leesburg. And again, these numbers are unfortunately going to get worse. Now, I mentioned with the title and the thumbnail of this live stream that we're going to talk about some of the heat, but I just wanted to give you that recap of the latest Keach Byram drought index numbers. I think that's going to be critically important going forward because, again, it kind of tells you a story in your neighborhood, just how dry things are, and then just how crazy things could be if we don't get rain in here soon. So what I want to show you now before we kind of get into the hyperlocal feel, the hyperlocal forecast here, is I want to take the rainfall, the model rainfall out through next Saturday. So this isn't Easter weekend Saturday. This is 2 weeks from now. So let me pull up my calendar. I swear I have a calendar somewhere on this computer. Okay, if anything's going to come up, let me go to my other computer and pull up the calendar. Let me get the date. This is going to be through Saturday, April 26th. There's not much rain coming into Central Florida. So this is 10 days out. All of the rain, and there's a reason for this. The weather pattern is shaping up like this, and I will show you that in a second. All of the rain and potentially flooding rain is staying towards Houston, Dallas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast. It's going up and over a big chunk of high pressure that is parked itself over the southeast corner of the United States. And we're going to get into that when we talk about our local forecast. But just to kind of give you that heads up, we don't have any decent rain over the next 10 days, and it's just going to get hotter and drier. It's pretty mild out there now. It feels great. Again, we need the rain, though. 62 in Cocoa Beach, 72 in Titusville right now. 61 in Wildwood, Leesburg. Good evening. We're at 68. Anybody Mount Dora? Shout out to Mount Dora. Post in the comments, by the way, where you're tuning in from. Give you guys a shout out. Again, any questions, feel free to post those in the chat. Anything you want to talk about, weather related or not. If you want to talk about basketball playoffs coming up, Magic in the playoffs against Boston, post that in the comments. We'll talk about anything on our 10 o'clock live stream. I like to have fun here. But give you the information as well. I have the weather conversation, as I like to call it. Through the rest of the evening, of course, it's going to be warm. Although tomorrow morning, some places are going to wake up and could wake up in the 40s. It's a sneaky cool evening tomorrow, or sneaky cool morning tomorrow because of the area of high pressure that is kind of anchored in over us. Here's a live look in Sanford, courtesy of WeatherStem, 63.5 degrees. The breeze has been out of the east-southeast at about 0 miles an hour now. And this is one of the keys why it's going to be a cool night. So we know that the air is dry. You can feel that when you step outside. Obviously, it's one of the reasons why our fire risk is high. The breeze out of the east-southeast is calm now. And the pressure that you see there is rising. So that means that we have a nice big chunk of high pressure overhead at the surface. We also have high pressure building from about Mexico all the way into Florida over the next couple of days. Okay. So we're going to have some fun. Okay. So first and foremost, on this live stream, on this channel, we talk in science. So Mr. F, there are no such thing as chemtrails. Okay, what you notice are contrails in the sky. But this gives me a great opportunity to not only debunk conspiracy, but also talk about what contrails are and the reason why you have not seen contrails over the past couple of days. Um, it is because the air has been so dry. You feel it at the surface, but also with that big chunk of high pressure that I just showed you, um, the air is very dry in the mid to upper levels of our atmosphere as well, where jet aircraft fly. So that is why you're not seeing the contrails out there. Once we get to the next couple of days and we try to have a resurgence of some moisture, I think really as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have high pressure over the Atlantic. It'll start to push in a little more moisture. Then you're going to be able to see contrails again. And that's also one of the reasons why you haven't actually seen many clouds out there either. So again, to be clear, chemtrails aren't really a thing. That's all conspiracy that people want to get you wound up about. And you haven't seen contrails because the air has been so dry from surface to the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. So hope that got you cleared up. And I hope you don't really believe there's such thing as chemtrails because they're not a thing. It's just wild conspiracy theories. But there's Sunday, 5 o'clock. Easter Sunday, and we are going to heat up big time because of that chunk of high pressure overhead. When you have high pressure like that, the air sinks. When air sinks, it dries out and it warms up. So again, it's kind of even a double-edged sword going into Easter weekend. 85 on Friday, 85 degrees on Saturday. We're pushing 90 on Easter Sunday. I don't know how the Easter Sunday, the Happy Easter text got over to Tuesday, but it's somehow there. Easter Sunday is, of course, Sunday. 91 on Monday, 91 degrees on Tuesday, and then 91 on Wednesday. Over the next 7 days, our only shot for rain comes in on Tuesday, and that is limited at best at 20%. So really, most of us are dry through the next 7 days. And the fact of the matter is, even if you get rain on Tuesday, it is not going to help at all to alleviate any of the drought situation. And then as I showed you there, beyond that, through the 10-day period, through Saturday, we'll be able to get, I think, a little bit of rain in here, but still, even with that limited rain coming through Central Florida, we are not going to be able to get rid of that drought situation. Alrighty, guys, going to wrap this one up on the quicker side tonight. Thank you a ton for tuning in. Join us at 11. We're going to go neighborhood by neighborhood. We'll show you those low temperatures that you're going to be waking up to tomorrow. A little chilly outside for some, certainly cooler than what you woke up to this morning. And we will go over this 7-day forecast one more time. Mr. F, hurricane predictions this year. Let me show you the Colorado State numbers that came out. We are waiting on the NOAA and the National Hurricane Center. They're going to release theirs at the end of May. Let me show you, and we'll go over that. Let me pull up that graphic. I have it in here somewhere. They are forecasting, though, slightly above average. It's really hard these days to get. I gotta find my folder where it's in. It's in my tropical folder. So bear with me 1 second. All right, got it. So this is what Colorado State is predicting. They issued this the first week in April every single year. They've been doing it since like 1985. So there's their forecast: 17 named storms, 9 of those becoming hurricanes, and then 4 of those becoming major storms. 2024, for reference, we had 18 named, 11 of those hurricanes, 5 of those becoming major. The average is 14, 7, and 3. Now, the one thing I always say about this is that even if there's one storm, if it hits you, it's a bad season. So a lot of times there's a lot of hoopla made about the numbers. But again, if they all stay out at sea, fine. That's awesome. That's great. That's what we want. We want to avoid the number of hurricanes, certainly the number of majors, and we want to avoid the land. Some of the indications are that we might be able to get the storms, although there should be less storms this year as a whole, which Again, it's just a forecast. It's a little more unpredictable this year because we don't really have a strong El Nino or a strong La Nina. We're kind of right in the middle there, and that's one of the bigger dictators of looking at the long range tropical forecast. Um, so that's going to be one of the things that we're going to watch closely as we get closer to June and as we get into the season. The other thing, though, there are some indications that storms are going to be able, the ones that are out there, to get further west from the Atlantic side. Now, we have not seen that in several years with storms really threatening Florida from the east. Nicole, of course, in 2022. Most of the stuff that has hit Florida lately has been coming from the Gulf side. Um, and that looks like one of the hot zones as well on the Gulf side, on the Eastern Gulf. So I think we're gonna have to watch. I'm hopeful as well that we catch a break. Flooding was terrible, as Mr. F mentions, and we just need to get a break. I mean, it's been a rough several years now. We need a break in the state of Florida. Um, because it's been terrible. Insurance is through the roof. All of that stuff is through the roof, and of course, we don't want to be dealing with damaging storms again. Just wild stuff. So hope that helps a little bit. We will get deeper into that as we get closer to hurricane season for sure, with some of the model trends and some of the clues that the atmosphere is giving us as we get into May. And then certainly as we roll on through June, that's going to be something that we obviously look at super close. The 2 to 3 week outlooks and things like that. We'll be able to tell much better on how El Nino or La Nina is coming in, or if it's going to stay in the middle, things like that. So that's going to be something that we'll be able to highlight further. We're going to have much more detail on that going forward as well. Alrighty, guys. Hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed the live stream tonight. Again, I'll be back at 11 o'clock on the TV side. I hope to see you guys over there. That's going to be 11 o'clock on News 6, CBS affiliate. If you're not aware, again, we are News 6. So catch us over there. We'll be right back here on YouTube, clickorlando.com at 10 o'clock. And then again, chilly start to the morning tomorrow, but we are going to warm things up quickly again into the afternoon. Chilly, relatively speaking. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is going to have your forecast at 5 a.m. tomorrow. We'll catch you then, guys. Be safe out there. Have a good one.